Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken Johnson. If you're new to this channel, I really don't have a niche. I just kind of do fun things I like to do. So if this video isn't your cup of tea, just stick around. There's probably something I'm going to do that you like. So if you haven't watched this channel before, I recently purchased a used boat I call the Ugly Boat. And I've been doing some updates, and so this video will kind of be where the last video stopped, and that is I'm going to be doing some minor fixes. We're going to be doing some cleats, installing cleats, so if you want to see how that's done, you'll see that. Went to Harbor Freight, got some bad advice. They said that the butt connectors I got was kind that you heat up and that you didn't have to crimp them. That was wrong. There's a bunch of problems, so I had to end up switching everything around, but trying to get the tail lights fixed. So there's a tail light repair. The trailer jack, we've got to do that, so I'll show you that, and then we'll do the Maiden Voyage. And just took the wife out. No fishing this time, so if you're looking for a fishing video, I told the wife we brought our dog Rebel, so I decided too much stuff was going on. I won't do fishing this time, but it will be coming up in later videos. But with that, stick around, enjoy the video as we finish up the fixing up of the Ugly Boat, and then from there we'll go on Maiden Voyage. Also remember, down in the comment section below, place a name for this boat. And in the description you can read the names that have been submitted already. I've got some Cherokee heritage, so some names have been given from my Cherokee heritage. One is for Rebel, which ironically is my dog's name is Rebel, but it's Cherokee word for rebel. There was some other ones, Hiding in Plain Sight. There's another one, Boo-Ray, Catfish Commander. So there's a bunch of them that will be listed in the description. But please, in the comment, tell me what you think, because my name, everybody that's friends with me, they know me as Squatch or Sasquatch, because I'm 6'2" and I kind of like a Sasquatch. Then I used to go by the name Mud Dog when I was hunting. I had CB. So just give me a name for this boat. I really would appreciate it. With that, stick around for the video. Alrighty, so we're going to do a little bit of work on the boat today. Try to get ready for the Maiden Voyage. These are by no means the only thing that I'll be doing. I'll be routinely updating things, but for right now, not this one but the other one, the tail light was cracked, and so Harbor Freight, they didn't have this type of tail light anymore, and so I had to get a different, well, they didn't have that design necessarily, so I'm having to get a different one. But we're going to do tail light, do some oiling, install some cleats, some very basic stuff. And once we're done, I think what I'll do is I'll include some of the Maiden Voyage stuff in there as well, because I'm pretty sure that I won't be able to get much fishing done. You can see where this tail light got busted, and so I'm going to change it out. So the tail light, you can see right there that it's only held on by these nuts, so that'll be fairly easy. What I don't like is this connection here. I just don't like it, so I'm going to change that out. I'll show that, and then we'll go to the next step. So I'm looking at the installation manual, and so there is a left side and the right side, so I got both sides. and I got all the stuff to make it waterproof. And I appreciate the fact that they use my name in this brand name. However, this Kenway light, again, I appreciate Harbor Freight. You know, there, if you have a product support question, there's a good email address. So, I mean, Harbor Freight does try and make things very helpful. But what I do not like, and I wish that they would include in the manuals, is what size nut these are. They don't say what size nut. And I know the nut trying to install this is 6'2", but I need to know what size nuts these are. Well, luckily I've got the tools. So using my Harbor Freight ratchet set, this lets me know that this is a 7/16 nut. So that's working there. And it may be metric, and there could be a metric equivalent, but this is working fine, so I'm going to use it for now. If I switch up, I'll let you know, but I don't think I'll switch up. Okay, so the bolts came off very easily. Now we'll loosen this off. That seems to be a little bit of a problem there, so we'll figure out what's going on there. They just had a little piece of rubber stuff here. So now the next thing we need to do is to undo this and get the new one connected up. That wasn't too hard, just to unscrew these little locking clamp things, and there was all sorts of dust, debris, all that, corrosion. So we're going to cut these ends off. I've got a wire cutter. I'm going to cut these wires off, take off a little bit of this insulation so that we got good connectivity, and then we're going to hook all this up. If you watched any of my videos, you know that I talk about that tool set my dad got me that was cheap old automotive tool set. Well, in this is one of these wire cutter wire strippers. If you go right now into a store, a tool like this, Harbor Freight, will run you about $9. If you go to Walmart or another store and you get a tool, maybe better quality, but tool looks very similar to this, I've seen them go up to $20. Some of them are even more than that, depending on which brand you get. But for stuff like this where you don't need it all the time, I'm not an electrician, I don't do this stuff all the time. Those little automotive tool kits, they run 20 to 30 bucks. You can find them at Christmas time. They have different stuff in them. Buy you 2 or 3 different sets so that you got all these different tools. And unless you're just doing this all the time, these tools are more than enough for what you need. And they're a whole lot cheaper than going out and piecemealing pieces and parts and getting what you need. So I don't know if you can see it here, but what you do is there's little cutters. And they're 16 gauge, 18 gauge. So you put the wire in between the hole and then cut down. That helps you strip off the piece. So you just find the hole that cuts through the insulation without cutting through the wire. Alright, so in this case it was 18 gauge. So now we'll get the light ready. These already come pre-cut so that you can take these end pieces off, which is awesome. And then I've got this right here. This is heat shrink butt connectors. So that's good for making a good waterproof, watertight connection. So I got these at Harbor Freight, and also got these at Harbor Freight. This is shrink tube. So I'm going to cut a piece of shrink tube off that will go on the wire, and so that will add another layer of water protection. And so if you ever have any questions, you can go to the Harbor Freight YouTube site and they will show you how to do a lot of this. So I highly recommend going to them before you start any project. Again, my projects are how I do, but they actually show you how to do it the right way. So that's something to take into consideration. So I've took that black shrink tube and cut it a little bit bigger than this. I want to give a little bit extra room, and this shrinks down when it's exposed to heat. So I've got it on the wire. Now we're going to put one of these, and we're going to connect yellow to yellow and brown to brown. So yellow will go in one end, so I'll take one of these, yellow will go in here, yellow will go in there, and then when you heat it, this metal stuff melts around it, kind of like solder. Okay, so there was a problem here with what Harbor Freight employees told me at the store. I didn't look at the video because there wasn't one on the Harbor Freight YouTube site, but these butt connectors, you actually have to crimp them. They are not the type that are self-soldering. One thing you'll notice, this stuff is multiple strands. I'll try to zoom in a little bit right here so you can see it. But this is just multiple strands of wire, and it's real thin wire. There's a strand right there straying off. So what I do is I twist this. I twist it as tight as I can, because inside of this is a little hole that we need to get this in. So I'm trying to make it as small a diameter as possible so that this will shrink right. Alright, so one thing I don't like about this is where the wires come out. Most of the submersible lights that I've ever seen don't come out the side, and that's because sometimes you have small tolerances like right here. So they normally come out the bottom, but this is where they have the tail light option. And you can see that that part is not waterproof at all, so water can get in there, but you know, really the way water works, it's fine. But I wish that they had came out the bottom. That would have been easier to deal with than putting it in the side. So what I'm going to have to do here, because I have such a small tolerance and there's nowhere else to put this light on this trailer, I need to put some shrink wrap around these wires, because I'm afraid it's going to nick the wires due to wear, and I want a little extra insulation. Just for camera purposes, I've got this on trailer, and I'm just heating up with the heat gun just to get this shrink wrap on there. And that's that. It is done. Fit this through. Now we'll put the screws, or the washer on, and then the bolts. I'm going to take this and adhere it there like that, and put the lock nut, or the friction nut right there. And then the same with this one right here. We'll go from there. I'll show you more when I'm ready. I actually moved it up from where it was because it was just binding too much. It's still binding on the wire. I don't like that. That's because of poor design there. There you can see. But you can see where it's kind of binding there. I don't like that. I'm gonna have to figure something else out for that. You can see the difference in design with this old light. See how it goes? This is the better design. I don't know why the Kimway version has such a poor design. Okay, so this is now shrink wrap connected here. Shrink wrap is down here. I'm going to hit it with a heat gun. Alright, now it's time to place the black shrink wrap over these and shrink wrap them as well. There you go, Bob's your uncle. Now time to do the other side. I won't show that because good grief, and we'll go from there. Now I did lie about the right side, but the only reason why I figured I would show this part is just so you understand the mechanics of the wiring. The left side of your trailer will have brown and yellow wires. The right side will have brown and green wires. So why do you have the different colored wires? Just so that you know, the brown is the running light. So when you're driving at night or whatever, this is the light that keeps everything constantly running so they can see your tail lights and don't run into the back end. When you're turning, the green light, that is, or green wire, that is for the right side. So that is letting this light know, okay, turn on and off. And so it's connected to your truck, and that is letting it know, okay, I'm going to turn. So if it's all done right, green should be right, yellow should be left, brown should be running, and this is just a ground. Okay, so registration is on the boat. Now right here we have got a cutting board. I've cut it in some pieces. Reason why I'm doing that, it is cheaper to buy a $10 cutting board from Walmart and use that instead of plywood or hardwood, cause it's like $35 for plywood, craft plywood at the store. And if you have an aluminum boat, you cannot have plywood touching the aluminum boat because the copper in the treatment will deteriorate the aluminum, so you got to coat it with something like epoxy. This right here I don't have to worry about. So you've got to have your cleats. They never come with screws or bolts or any of that stuff. So I got the washers, screws, all that from the hardware store, stainless steel. So what I'm going to do, I've got it marked right here. So it's going to go right here. I'm going to mark up my little areas to drill, and then this will go underneath. I'll drill through it, and then this will hold on to that, making a little bit stronger connection. This stuff is as strong as wood. So now we'll go from there. Alright, just to let you know, so what I did is I made my mark here, laid it where I wanted, and then I took a pencil, one of the mechanical pencils, and ran it down there and made my two spots. Now I'm going to drill that through. Now that everything is fitted right, I'm going to put some silicone down here. That's just an extra level protection. You can use marine silicone. Really, any silicone's going to work. Marine is better, but any will do. It's better to have it than not. So this right here uses a size 8. Sometimes the bigger cleats will use a size 10. They all have different sizes. Normally they do not come with the hardware. So what I'm going to do is try to get this under here and fit the holes, match the holes with this. And then after I match the holes with that, then I'm going to put a washer and then a nylon nut, and that's to lock it in place. This nut right here, for a size 8, I'll be using a 6mm wrench. Well, that was more needlessly complicated than it should have been, but now it's in. So now I'm going to try to get this silicone caulk off around the end, the excess. It's already setting up, and tells you how long it's taken me to get this done. Just not much as far as tolerances. You really need to have somebody helping you with that. Not a one-person job for that kind of limited space. If I didn't have a deck right there, it wouldn't have been a problem, but oh well. It's in now. Next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and put some spray paint on it. Some green is on it right now, and then I'll come back and hit it with some black, and I'll just I'll hit like one side black and it'll finish it up. Well, the lights aren't working, which means one of two things. I wired these wrong, or this nick in the line right here is causing a problem. Maybe shorted something out. I don't know. Gonna have to figure it out. I got 2 ratchets here. I'm gonna put one right here on top and one on bottom, and I'm just going to undo this one real quick. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is just kind of put a very, very light coat of black paint on here. With the spray paint drying on the boat, we'll go ahead and spray paint this. So there it is on the other side, and we'll get whatever spots we missed along the way. Okay, so I bought new tail lights cause it is something wrong with the tail lights. So I got this is Hopkins. This is a brand that Tractor Supply sells. I wanted to show you the difference though between Tractor Supply and another brand. This right here is Tractor Supply. It only has one way of doing it. It goes out the side, so you're pretty much out of luck if you need it going down here. And that's where I had the problem. This is Hopkins right here. Hopkins has these nifty little carriage bolts that fit perfectly in a groove. And the way it's done, to have side grooves here so you can side mount, or you can actually mount it right here. So it gives you multiple mounting options. Thing is, the Tractor Supply was cheaper than the Harbor Freight. We have lights. Alright, we got lights, got blinker, got blinker. We're good. Oh, it's already been a morning. So the gas that my outboard uses is, because it's an old Mariner 40 horsepower. And so that means that it requires 2-cycle oil because it's a 2-stroke. And you either have a mixer where you pour in your oil and it automatically mixes it, or you mix your gas. Well, most people that have used the Mariner before, what they do is they go ahead and take or disconnect that oil pump, that mixer, because 1, it never works right. It's always breaking down, and 2, it's just easier to mix the gas and have it ready, because, you know, it's just one less step to worry about. Well, I got a new gas can a while back. It had some gasoline in it. I need to pour it out because it was ethanol gas. Most people ask, Ken, what time do you wake up? I'll tell them, normally I wake up when I need to wake up, you know, for work or whatever, but I mentally don't wake up until 2 p.m. And they laugh, but they don't understand. I had a brain injury, and So you're never fully recovered. You're always recovering. And so I have days when I'm off, and today I woke up, I knew I was going to be off. I decided to pour that gasoline into my lawnmower. And if you know anything about me and you know about my heritage, my Cherokee heritage, I always pay attention to spiders. And spiders were always messengers and helpers. I had a spider that was aggravating the dickens out of me. And I moved my hand and it would follow me, trying to get on my hand. Finally it got on my hand. I was like, what is it you're trying to do? What are you trying to tell me? And I looked, I saw a dipstick. I'm like, oh dear God, no. I'm not saying spider was trying to tell me, but my heritage tells me it was trying to tell me. Either way, I was pouring gasoline into my lawnmower oil reserve. So yeah. Now when I get home, I'm going to have to do a lawnmower repair and figure out how to get gasoline out of an engine, the oil part of the engine. Maybe have to contact the lawnmower lady and see if she has any ideas. It's nuts. It's really, really nuts. But I thought I'd give you that update. We're about to go out. Well, we're idling out. Got out of the boat dock, got Rebel and Tasha with me. So hopefully we'll have a few more videos soon where you can see the boat going, half throttle at least. Probably not full throttle because I don't know if I can handle that right now. Here we go! Not in full throttle, just partial throttle. This thing, if I wanted to, could really go. I think it's neat. Milton still has a little train trestle that spins around. I really like that. Yeah. Now we used to have a drawbridge right up there. They took that out. And so when I was a little boy, that bridge right there would actually lift up and lift down. They changed it out to this bridge here that's permanent. This is my little fishing buddy right here. He's a little tuckered out. We're in a no wake zone right now. But we'll be out in just a minute. Well, we have pulled off onto a sandbar here. We're taking a nap right now in the boat. Definitely need seats in here. My back seats, because my back is killing me. Tasha's back is killing her. We're in an area that most people do not go, which is nice. We're going to walk a little bit, stretch our backs, and I'm going to have some cold fried chicken and just enjoy the day with my wife and dog. I hope you liked that video. If you did, please give it a like. That's always helpful. Remember, comment down below the name of the boat if you have any suggestions. Let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear any type of suggestions for other improvements. I know I got to paint the inside of the boat. I want to get some lighting. I've got to get some cameras up too, and I've got an idea for that. I'll show you that as well when I get the cameras, but I've got to save up for that because that's kind of expensive. I've got a few other things I'm going to do, but please comment those suggestions if you have anything. Go ahead, share this video if you like it. You think it's interesting, share it with your friends. That helps grow this channel. I really need help growing the channel. If you haven't subscribed already and you're watching to the end, why not? Just go ahead and subscribe. It's free. Hit that notification bell so you can be alerted to future content. And with that, I'll see you again next time. Bye.